to Vegas Live with Nina, and of course we're down here at the Pepper Mill, and of course it's a very busy day today, and there's loads of people out here, including me. I'm your host today, and I have Scott Lund with me, and I also have
Irina Violet.
Irina, and she's just a beautiful woman. Where are you from?
I'm Romanian.
You're Romanian. Oh, I don't think I've ever had a Romanian on, so you're first one.
First one, cool.
Yeah, doing good. Scott, how are you?
Thank
Very
you.
good, thank you. Nice
Good to see
be on your show.
At long last. It's been taking a long time. There is a reason why we're here. You know, we all hear of codes. Codes go all over the place and everybody has a code. But how about the Mona Lisa code? Haha, this is a little different. Now, I want to know what this is all about, because you came to me and wanted to come on the show and do all this, everything, and this is the reason I'm having you on, so it's very intriguing to me, because I want to know what the Mona Lisa code is. What is it?
Well, it's an adventure of reconstructed lost secrets of the past. And these are things that Leonardo da Vinci spent his life trying to figure out. And
Did he ever figure it out?
Oh yeah, he did.
He did?
I was lucky enough to figure out what he figured out, so that's why
And I'm
here.
going to figure out what he figured out. And what is Mona up to, though?
Well, the Mona Lisa Code is a complete game changer. You know, we've been told by art historians and countless books and articles that the Mona Lisa is nothing but the portrait of a middle-class silk merchant's wife in Florence. But that's completely wrong. So
we're getting into it now. This is, listen carefully, because we're getting into the code and exactly what it is, because this is a little bit different, because, you know, nobody wants to be said that they're wrong. And you just stated that whoever said did what was wrong.
yes, everybody.
I love it. Oh, this is going to be a great show.
Academia is mumbling about it. They have nothing really explicit to say against it, but they don't like the fact that this comes out of the clear blue and invalidates everything that's ever been done.
It seems, I think I'm quite honored here, it seems this is the first time you brought this out, and it happens to be on my show.
That's absolutely true.
And that to me fascinates, because number one is from Europe, and I'm European, and so this is very fascinating to me to actually, the Mona Lisa was somebody that was just nobody has ever let go of her name. Nobody. It's always out there. It always seems to appear. It always seems to come up. And now it's appeared with you. It's brought an attraction to you to try to sort this code out, or what it is that nobody else could really sort it out. They thought they had. But they
Keith E, party of
what
two
makes you
children,
feel that
Keith
you have
E,
sorted
party of
this
two.
code out, or you have the code?
Well, hundreds of art history professors have seen the evidence. Nobody can say anything against it. So, and nobody will. There's so much to it that it's irrefutable.
Right.
So the thing is that it hasn't been reported by the media very much.
No, I haven't heard it at all.
And we're here in Vegas for a specific reason.
Why did you bring it to Vegas? What's the
Here
reason?
we are in the legendary Pepper Mill Lounge,
Yes.
favorite booth of Elvis Presley in
Yes.
the middle of the Las
He knows
Vegas
a lot,
Strip.
doesn't he?
You know,
Yes. Yeah.
and actually nearby was where the former Sands was.
That's right.
And you had Nat King Cole, oftentimes singing the haunting
Well, you
melody
have Frank
Mona
Sinatra,
Lisa.
yeah.
You know, with the
Mona
idea
Lisa,
that
Mona Lisa.
Back
Wherefore
to.
art thou?
that nobody would ever figure out her mystery. That's what he used to sing
and
about.
it is a mystery. And
It was until the Mona
It
Lisa
wasn't
code.
until Scott came along. Scott came along and you undid this whole thing.
Yeah, and there's a lot to it. And it's kept building. There are more and more discoveries. If someone goes to my website, MonaLisaCode.com, they can read a lot of content.
Yes.
And one of the interesting things is that in the last couple years, we've been able to figure out that originally I was only focused on the Mona Lisa, but then I realized that she does not sit alone as an artwork. She's part of a solar group of 3 paintings
Really?
that are all, yes, that Da Vinci kept with him to the end of his life. Very close. And they are all,
Why haven't we heard about the other two? And I want to know what are the other two?
well, the other 2 are St. John the Baptist
Okay.
and the Virgin and Child with St. Anne. And it is known that he kept these 3 paintings with him till he died.
Why were they so close
Brian
to
B,
him?
party of two
Why did you
children,
kind
Brian B, party of
of,
two.
want to hold them and
Louis
not
D,
let
party of two
anybody else
children,
have
Louis
them?
D,
I'll
party of
tell
two.
He witnessed the solstices and equinoxes in Rome in the year 1500 AD, which was the year of the Catholic Church's Grand Jubilee celebration.
Cocktails,
And the
please,
stars
cocktails.
that he saw from the top of the highest hill in Rome, the Janiculum, he used as the basis for his composition of those 3 paintings. And this is a revelation.
And how did you manage to get all this information and found this out as of research?
Well, you have to use the science of archaeoastronomy, which I'm into, and also the knowledge of secret symbolism and the hidden meaning of ancient mythology. And if you study all those three disciplines, you can start to put it together.
Well, isn't that why they call it the code? I mean,
It is a code. Yeah.
It's a code.
Yeah.
So you have to actually try to figure out this code.
Yeah, and I have.
How hard was it to figure out the code, and what is the composition of a code?
Well, the elements of Da Vinci's construction, his reality, we can call the code. It's code because it was secret. It was.
Yes, yeah.
I've decoded the Mona Lisa and these two other paintings and figured out that what it was all about was star magic. He was a wizard, and he's been called a lot of different things, but he's never been called an astronomer.
Never, no.
And now it appears that he was more astronomer than anything else.
But wasn't astronomy in those days? I think it was more realistic in those days than it is now. Now it's got a lot of superficial stuff going on, and you read your horoscope, everything you read about yourself, and you say, well, I was born at this time and da 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 da, but so were a few other people. So,
well, there was astrology, and then astronomy was a new science. Most people started with Galileo, but Leonardo da Vinci predated Galileo, and by the way, said that the sun was the center of the universe before Galileo. So he knew these things, but people haven't acknowledged that he was a true astronomer.
was there also, if I'm not mistaken, there's 12 astrology signs, right?
Yes.
Wasn't there 13?
We could get into some esoteric discussions here, but
Yeah, I believe there were 13. If it was covered up. I don't know.
Just started.
I don't know why they covered it up, or whether 13 was unlucky. You know, like you go into an elevator.
And there's no 13th floor.
Well, there's still a 13th floor. Don't fool everybody.
Button.
There's still one.
There's no
you
button.
No, you just don't see it. No, there's
there
still
is.
a 13th button. Of course, if you count the
What
buttons,
happened?
just because it says 12, doesn't mean to say there's
It's a trick, of course.
Of course
yes.
it's a trick. I mean, you look at it and you say, well, there's no 13. Of course it's a 13. They're just hiding it.
Yeah.
So,
exactly.
anyway, getting back to the astrology, getting back to this phenomenon and what you have put together. Where do you see this going, and what exactly do you want to do with this? Because I know you want to put it into a gallery. We want to get it into a gallery here, and I believe it's the gallery at the Bellagio,
we'd
correct?
like it there,
I
yeah.
want it in the gallery at Bellagio, please.
I have a visualization behind you, which is quite unique.
This is it.
I call it the Mona Mandala.
Okay.
It's circular, and what it does is it shows how the Mona Lisa has two incongruous landscapes on right and left, and people have often commented on that, and they can't understand it. But what's really happening is that this landscape here is diametrically opposed to the other side there.
Yeah.
And what we're looking at up above is a portion of Rome right next to the Janiculum Hill. And what we're looking at here is 29.5 kilometers away at Lake Nemi, which was the cult site of the goddess Diana. It was the most important pilgrimage site for women in matters of pregnancy in the Roman Empire. And of course, actually point A up there is where the Vatican is. So this connects the Vatican
Connects it all,
to the major cult site of one of the most important
I'm just
goddesses
going to go
of Rome.
off a little bit. What do you think of the Vatican?
Well, it's an institution. I respect it for what it is. It's been around longer than any institution that I'm aware of, and it's helped preserve history, and yeah.
Yeah, I was reading all about the Vatican, and then they had the 7 kings they had. And on February 29, I remember our last Pope resigned. He actually resigned the day he had to resign, which was February 29th. He had to resign because that was the end of the 7 kings of reigning at the Vatican. I won't go to the complete story because it's rather long, but read about the 7 kings between Russia and the Vatican.
Raja I, party of 6,
Anyway, back to the
Raja I, party of
so
6.
you want to get it into a gallery here.
Yes.
What is the reasoning for you wanting to expose this in Vegas, number one? But of course, you're all the people here. But why do you, if you decided now to bring this out and to see, you want to see the attention of people, or what? Where's it going to go?
Well, first of all, academia is very slow with things like this, so it's not going to happen overnight to recognize and acknowledge these discoveries.
Why not?
But Vegas is the place that people go to reinvent their better selves. So I figured, what better place to reinvent the Mona Lisa than Las Vegas? I mean, Europe has had 500 years to try to figure out what she's all about. You know, it's the 4th of July.
Yeah.
I'm a Yankee Doodle dandy, and I'm going to bring it here.
But, the Mona Lisa is something very sacred, very religious.
Well, yeah, in a sense it is, yeah.
And Vegas is not exactly like that, though I have to say in Vegas we've had a tremendous amount of churches have been built here, so they're trying to evolve religion and everything in with it. So, and I guess more of because you have a tremendous amount of an international set of people coming through Vegas.
Exactly.
And so you want to catch somebody's eye with it. What exactly? You want people to see it. You want people to understand it. And where do you want to go from there? Do you want to make a movie? Or?
Well, we are making a documentary. And that's in the works. We're adding stuff to it all the time. Some of the interesting parts of it is just how long it takes people to acknowledge irrefutable facts. Yes. And so that's kind of an interesting angle to all of this.
Are they acknowledging them or not? Are you getting acknowledged?
Not much. Not from academia. But again, they have nothing to say against it. So.
But then also, you haven't really brought an awful lot about it out.
Right.
So this is kind of one of the first things.
This is a coming out.
Now, this young lady next to me, what part are you playing in this?
I gotten involved because I was really intrigued about all the information, and I read the book, and without going into details about what it is, there's a lot of information.
You don't go into details because this is a chance to go into details.
Well, it isn't. I'm not supposed to. That's why. So I'm not going to say because
there's a lot of stuff to it.
There is a lot of information, and it was really
Jim,
interesting.
party
It was
11,
nothing
your
that
teacher?
certain things
Jim,
were
party
things
11.
I've never heard of before. I've never considered, never read in any book, in any reference towards the Mona Lisa and the other two paintings. And I thought it was brilliant, and I really enjoyed it, and I want to be a part of this journey. I want to be part of the documentary. I want it to come out because it's really interesting and different information. Why not help it?
So what are you adding
W,
to it?
party of 4, your table journey. And W, party of 4.
This is all about the Mona Lisa
Precious,
and exploring
party
the
of
feminine
3, your
mystique.
table
So I
journey.
need
Precious,
to find a
party of
real-life
3.
goddess, and that's where
So you
Arena came
found
in.
Arena to do that. So do you feel you can fit that part? Because you're falling into something that's a little bit, it's very large, it's very well known, it's international, it's got a whole history of it.
I love it. I love mythology. I've always had interests in everything that concerns the subject anyway. So I want to be a part of it. I want to be part of the documentary. We've done a presentation a couple of years ago where, together with 2 other actresses, we've actually reenacted the fall of Persephone. So we've already been involved, the 3 of us, as actors and presenters, interpreting the characters and putting it in play.
So what fascinated you about the Mona Lisa, and what was the intrigue to you about it, apart from the code?
The mystery, the novelty, the new information. I've always loved everything, trying to find out more, like everybody else, about the painting, the character, the mystique, of course, was the first thing that attracted me.
At W, party of 4, your table journey. At W, party of 4.
To just be a part of helping, presenting at least. I'm not going to solve a mystery. He did it, but I want to help.
But aren't we trying to solve the mystery?
Well, a lot of it's been solved, and the problem is so much information has been out there that hasn't been reported yet.
Okay.
But we don't want more to just languish without the attention that you're helping bring.
I hope so. But no, because it's fascinating to me because you're bringing something into the arena of the world. Internet is the world, and you're bringing this out there on kind of the Mona Lisa code. It gives it a different, I don't want to say stigma, but it gives a different name to it because it's always been something very kind of sacred. And people haven't really gone into, I've never heard of anybody really getting into the depth of who she was, why she was. I mean, I know there is a lot of stuff out there, but you're going into the depths of it.
I am, indeed.
And so what attracted you to do this?
Well, I just figured I could do it based on my research.
And W,
I
party of
understood
four, this
certain
is your
things about
last
the
call.
painting, and I knew that if I
W, party
continued to
of four, this
investigate,
is your
that
last
it would bear
call.
fruit.
Yeah.
And in terms of Irena and her function in all of
Yes.
this, she's a true intellectual of substance. But
Okay.
what you don't know is that she was crowned a Miss Romania,
How
and she
about
was
you?
selected by her country to represent them in the Miss World competition, which is the oldest and most
Congratulations.
prestigious
Thank you.
international
Thank you.
competition.
Yes.
And in the course of my research, I've studied many faces, tens
Yes.
of thousands of faces.
Why?
And I got-
What's the
Frankie S, party of
fascination
four, your tables
for
ready.
you for
Frankie S,
faces?
party of
Well,
four.
at first, I wanted to find a doppelganger for the Mona Lisa for the movie, and I really could not find one.
Doug,
But
W,
I've
party of
looked at
two.
tens of thousands of faces, and in my humble opinion, Irene is among the most beautiful women in the world.
Thank
So
you.
Well,
you.
to
I've never
each-
actually-
to each our own, and I think that she is beautiful.
I've never actually paid her that compliment. I figure,
But why not
she
pay it
doesn't.
on, why
she
not
doesn't-
pay it on the internet worldwide?
She doesn't deserve it. I mean, her parents did all the work, but
Yes.
you know.
Well, no, that's not nice. Did you hear what he said? Her parents did all the work. Well, hang in a second. She's done a lot of work herself to
She
keep
has.
herself
She
together.
absolutely,
So what exactly
yeah.
do you do?
I'm an actress.
You're an actress.
I'm an actress. I model also, and I love
What have you been in?
reading
Anything
and-
famous? Will we know about?
Now she co-starred opposite Christopher Lambert in Metamorphosis.
Yeah,
That was
Four
a big
Christmases.
budget film.
I've done
Number of films.
You've done a number
Yeah.
of stuff, obviously
Yeah.
in Los Angeles.
obviously in Los
Yeah,
Angeles,
so
yeah,
that's
and
where
some
it
in
all-
Europe.
that's where it's all
So
at.
yeah, and I just with respect to the Mona Lisa, what I read makes sense, and when
Okay.
something makes sense, I want to support that information to come out.
Okay.
I want to be a part of that.
Great, I think it's wonderful. So now we've got this far with this interview. Everybody out there, this is something very, very unusual. It's very different. And she's back in the limelight again, I guess. Mona Lisa Cordes, she's back
You're going to hear
there.
more about
Yeah.
this. And my intention of coming here and
Yes.
on your show is to announce I want to put a stake in the sand and create a
Well, hang in
marvelous...
a second, there's no sand in Vegas. We're not on the beach. I'm just joking around.
I know. I heard there's a lot of shallow graves out there.
There's a lot of spirit. Kevin, we don't get in one.
Someone was digging somewhere, but
Yeah,
anyway.
no, I'm just teasing you.
I want to create a great exhibition attraction that's going to bring people here and actually make Las Vegas the cultural epicenter for a new understanding of the Mona Lisa.
Yes. And I
Europe
think
has
we
had
need
its
that.
chance. You know, it would.
We had our chance and we blew it. Well, I don't know, 'cause it's going to end up back there anyway, believe me. Because I'm not saying that's where the culture is, but that's where America's more modern. So they're more on the modern side of life.
Yeah.
Whereas Europe is it's like England, you know, you go to
Yeah.
England and you go to, you know, churches in different places and they're old, but I mean old.
Yes, I
I
know.
mean, they're really old. They're not like coming back to, you know, the 1900s. They're really old. So,
Well, you know, Nina, Vegas has been making all these miniature monuments from Europe, and now it really does have the opportunity to seize the grand dame of European history and give it a home right here for everybody
so
to
you
look
mean to
at.
say they're going to build a hotel with a...
They
and they're going
could.
to call it the Mona Lisa Code?
You never know.
You're giving me ideas. You're giving me ideas. All I need is one other person with the resources that shares this vision,
agree.
Oh, there's loads
and we
of-
can make it
There's
happen.
loads of people out
Yeah.
there with money, believe me. But wouldn't that be fabulous? Called the Mona Lisa Code
It would be.
Hotel.
Would be. And you know
Now,
what?
don't start fighting for it now. Come on.
It'd be a win-win proposition.
No, don't win. You're right, win.
Or
Win is
win,
one,
win.
And win as of gambling. You know, Scott, you've been amazing. You've been amazing.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
It's been a
Start
pleasure.
seeing what we're doing. We're going to try and get this in the Bellagio Hotel because they have the most incredible art gallery there. And if nothing else, I'm going to advertise their art gallery because it's pretty cool. And if we can get it there, we will. And as I said, just take it there and see if they'll show it.
This is the stake in the sand, the first exhibit piece of what will be something that the
Enjoy.
world has never seen before. We want to use virtual reality, mixed reality, projections, all sorts of
You're
things.
leaving nothing out.
Nothing out, and I want to use all local talent to help develop the creative ideas
I
that
think
would
that's
do
wonderful.
Da Vinci proud. So,
Yes, so absolutely. How can anybody get hold of you?
MonaLisaCode.com.
Simple, quite simple.
Yeah.
Well, you've both been a pleasure. It's been wonderful. I learned quite
Thank
a lot,
you.
actually. You want me to ask you any more questions? You got
No.
anything else you want to
Yeah,
bring out? Did I do all right?
You did wonderful.
Amazing.
We love your show, and we want to come back on.
Oh, you come back on
Okay.
when we get this into the Bellagio.
Okay.
And then when we get a hotel built, and then we start doing all sorts of crazy stuff.
Do you think we could get you to
Yeah,
do
we
a
can
show
do
at the new
Michael
venue
P.
at
for
the
your
Why not?
Mona Lisa
We'll-
Code
We'll
Hotel?
come. We'll have our own room.
We will. That's a
We'll have our
promise.
own room there.
You make that happen, you've got a set for
Thank
sure.
you. Amazing. Absolutely wonderful. We'll be right back. Vegas Live with Nina.